Anyways, let's go and test out the Throat Wobbler Mangrove on the Royal Jelly Boss here. Hello everybody! My name is Bloody Elevator, and welcome back to Spire Knights. The Hall of Heroes. It's been a while since we've been in here. Anyways, we need an Acheron to add to our arsenal, and Echo here will be our Basil word today. The Acheron is part of the Brandish line, just like the Combustor. So it's like a Combustor, except it does shadow damage, and it isn't able to inflict a status condition onto enemies, like burn damage that a Combustor can do. Anyways, let's go and get started on crafting the Acheron. We just need to learn the recipes for it, from the Nightblade to the Silent Nightblade, and lastly, the Acheron itself. Thankfully, there's an alchemy machine right outside the Hall of Heroes. We can use that one to get started on our Nightblade. Thankfully, we've already got a spare Brandish to help us get started with this. Now that we have our Nightblade, let's go and test this thing out in the arcade. A lot of players like using the Acheron because of its high damage output, and that can be very useful to us later on in the future. The Acheron is about as strong as a Combustor, if not, then a bit stronger actually, because while it doesn't cause any status conditions, it makes up for that with raw shadow power, while our reliable Combustor does elemental damage. But from what I read on the wiki, the Combustor's damage output is slightly lower than the Acheron. However, it makes up for that by giving the player a chance to inflict burn damage onto enemies by setting them on fire. Now we can heat up our Nightblade for upgrading. Now that I think about it, we did have an Acheron a while back ago. But Past Bloody either sold the weapon for money or traded it in for the Arms Appropriation Prestige mission. Great, let's get started on crafting the Silent Nightblade. Time to test this thing out in the arcade. We might as well go and test out our new Silent Nightblade on the slimes here. There is no need to worry, as I have not sold any weapons for quick cash since then, nor have I submitted any of the weapons that we have made on these videos into the Arms Appropriation Prestige mission. So the weapons that we've made for the series are safe. The most that will happen to the weapons that we've made for these videos will be that they will get heated up to level 10 off screen, if they might be needed later on in a future boss fight or something like that. Also, the equipment might have to get taken to Punch to roll some UVs. But rolling for UVs can get kind of expensive, so if it's a weapon that we really need for a boss fight, then we'll roll some new UVs onto it, but only when we need it. Here's a fun fact: I got bored and looked up how to pronounce Acheron online, and eventually ended up on the Spire Knights forums. Apparently, according to an admin who responded to a post, it's spelled Acheron, but it's pronounced Throat Wobbler Mangrove. I'm actually not joking. Search up how to pronounce Acheron in the Spiral Knights forums, and it should be one of the first few links. Hell, I'll even post the link to the forum post in the description of this video, if you want to see what I'm talking about. Well, if a Game Master says that, it must be true, right? Probably not, but take that with a grain of salt. Anyways, let's go and test out the Throat Wobbler Mangrove on the Royal Jelly Boss here. But even so, the Acheron does some pretty good damage, even at level 1. Now imagine fighting the Royal Jelly Boss with a level 10 Acheron. Maybe with some nice UVs too. It would destroy them in like a matter of seconds. And the weapons test was a success. Glad to have another sword added to the arsenal. Let's go and collect our shinies and call it a day. And that is all I have to share with you for now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching.